This is not the video that I intended to make. It was supposed to be called, I tried solving an FTO with no help. And for the record, I tried, gave myself an hour, and this was the final product. Okay, it did actually look better at some points, but then I completely stuffed it up at the end. And technically, I did have a little bit of help because I had a second FTO that I was using as reference, but eventually the whole thing unraveled when I did a move on my reference FTO and messed that one up irreversibly and was like, nah, this is not working. Okay, let's back up a little bit. So this is called the FTO, or the face-turning octahedron. Octahedron because it's got 8 sides, and face-turning because it doesn't turn like that or like this. Its entire face turns like this. And actually it looks a lot like a pyramid if you look at any one side. Except because it's an octahedron, we introduced some weird colors like purple and gray. As I was doing some experimenting during the solve, I found out some clever things. You know the U-perm, so this move on the pyramids? If you do that with the FTO, you get this. Look at that. There's a pretty cool pattern going on. But I also later found out if you hold it like this and you turn this layer and you do that exact same move, it looks like the exact same move, right? This is what you get. So somehow this is not R. This is an R move. And this is, I don't know what this is. There's too many layers. And then I found out that just like FireStriker, you can turn this layer that way, this layer that way, and then undo the same two. Basically a sledgehammer. And if you do it for the FTO, you get this, which I don't even understand. There's something in my brain that's not clicking with this puzzle. I am gonna change this video. Instead, I'm gonna learn how to solve this and tell you about my journey, whether I think this is a great puzzle, whether the hype is, I mean, so many people love this, like literally, or whether, yeah. Anyway, tutorial time. The FTO tutorial by Ben Puzzle seemed to be the most popular one on YouTube, so I started there. He does a great job explaining it, but obviously my brain is not big enough because I was still so stumped by it. Yes, I made the second center. And the side colors are wrong. Great. This makes so much more sense now that you've just got like this white layer, and then it allows you to do like moves on just these two without affecting that. That reminds me so much of doing Yao on like big cubes, because you do like 3 edges and then you don't do your 4th white edge so that you can use that layer to like build centers and do moves. This part is so unintuitive. So this is the final white bit thingy, and it's meant to go down there, which, you know, you could just like push straight in. But that would be the same as like an F12 pair that you just like push straight in, and then obviously messes everything up. So Ben says, think of it like an F12 insertion. So I'm like, okay, F12 insertions like that, right? So if this piece needs to go in there, then I guess the F12 insertion is that. Except it's not, because then it messes that up and it messes all the other stuff up. Life doesn't make sense. Hey guys, I figured it out. Hide that piece down there, lift up that slot, put that there, and then bring it back. Oh my goodness. No. Oh, let's go. I think this is the last move. That's like a U-perm. Finally, the first algorithm in this entire tutorial. That's actually really impressive. The whole thing has just been like sledges and stuff. Let's go. Yes, FTO completed for the first time. I wish I could say I was joking, but that literally took me 2 hours to do my very first solve. This puzzle is so different. It's apparently supposed to be like these puzzles, and it sort of is, but it's totally in its own category. I'm still not sure if I love it or if I hate it. I'm gonna try and do a few more solves and see what happens. Let's go, first solve ever on the FTO with no help, this time properly. Got a bit of lucky skip as well. Sub 6 minutes. Yeah, I think people get like 30 seconds or like 20 seconds with this. There's no way, right? Wait, let me do a few more solves. Well, that wasn't particularly pretty. My hands are actually so sore. I'm sort of getting the hang of it, but I'm really not as well. Like there are some steps that I literally can spend half the entire solve time just trying to figure out, and it's so frustrating. But I just keep wanting to get better. Okay, here's the mission. Maybe this will be the new title of this video. I'm gonna see if I can give myself 1 week with the FTO to get sub 2 minutes. How's that? I'm like 6 minutes. I'm literally averaging 6 minutes right now. This video has completely changed, but we have a challenge now. Here we go. Hello friends, welcome to day 2 of my adventures with the FTO. If I'm sounding a bit happy today, it's because, let me show you. So much red because of all the PBs, including a 3 minutes 13 second solve. Woohoo! 5 minutes yesterday, and today we're down to 3 minutes. And in fact, I would continue solving, except I don't know if you can see this. Look at my poor little finger. It's really sore because this silly puzzle is so stiff and so hard to turn. It's basically what like Rubik's Cubes were like 20 years ago. Zero corner cutting, tight, stiff internals. I even got my first pop today, which thankfully was easy to put back in place, but still. And you might think, well, let's just get a better FTO, but I can't. Because this is one of the only ones that exists. So for the people who've wanted to improve in it, they've had to like pull this apart, shave bits off to make it turn smoother, or just 3D print their own. It's crazy. But that's okay, that's okay. We'll keep going. Hopefully we're gonna see better times over the next few days, fingers crossed. And yeah, it's starting to grow on me. It's actually starting to grow on me. What's happening to me? Hello friends, it's day 3 with the FTO. Let's get into some solving. Although I'm still not 100% familiar with the geometry of this puzzle yet, I'm definitely turning it a lot more smoothly. I'm starting to now be able to look ahead. Oh, then I get more pops because I'm trying to speed up, but it's not my fault. It's hardware. But I did have a highlight today, and it was this. Whoa, that is so close. I feel like I've gone into a time machine, went back like 5 or 6 years to when I first started cubing. It's that feeling of something new that's frustrating and like, I'm such a noob. I'm so incompetent at this, but that just motivates you to just keep going and going. And then like every little success is just like so sweet. All right, that was a great day of solving. I think I can say that I am a sub 3 minute solver now, which is crazy to think about. Just 2 days ago, getting like 5 minutes and not at all seeing how I could get any faster than that. I also decided to find a few other FTO tutorials just to see if there's anything else out there. It's actually so fascinating how many ways there are of approaching this puzzle. The methods that maybe conceptually are a little bit easier to understand, perhaps, but are like way more repetitive. And like, yeah, it works, but like it's such a time-consuming way to do it. So I think that method which I'm using, the Benisco method, seems to be the best place to start. See if I can crack that sub 2 minute time. It's day 4, my friends. Last night I spent a few hours watching FTO videos. I've gone down the rabbit hole. Ben Streeter has a playlist with tips on how to get better on each step of his method, the Ben Cisco method, which I admit I previously mispronounced. Sorry about that, Ben. Also a helpful video by Kid Clement, another FTO aficionado. Do you know in my Cube Battle Royale video that I made like 3 years ago, his weapon of choice was the FTO? It's foreshadowing, my friends. It also suddenly occurred to me this morning that I literally haven't done anything to speed up this puzzle. So enter a bit of DNM 37, and already it was feeling a lot better. This morning was a good day of solving. I'm quite comfortably averaging sub 3 minutes now. And I even got a couple of solves that were really close to sub 2. What? That's insane. But the pops, they kept on coming. Okay, this has to be a coincidence or the stars aligning or something, because Jiang just announced that they're officially releasing a magnetic FTO. Man, if I had that, no more wrist turns. Surely I could get sub 2 minutes on the FTO. I've already put a pre-order in at the Cubicle with discount code Tingman, of course. But I have no idea when it's coming, so I'm just gonna have to persist and get my sub 2 this week with this FTO. Although man, the Jiang's gonna revolutionize the FTO scene. And it turns out this puzzle has quite the following, beginning in the USA, but I mean, look at how many nationalities are represented in this unofficial ranking list I found. I've also started taking the FTO around with me, and it's quite addictive. One of my problems is often doing too many time solves and no intentional practice, so solving with no timer has been really good for me. For example, the very first step, forming the white center. It was literally just this random process of like trial and error and, you know, seeing what would work, which is pretty reminiscent of the square one, where you've got to get the cube into cube shape, and it could literally take me like just a few seconds to do it, or like an entire minute when I was first starting out. And it's like, there goes all hopes of getting a good solve. I spent quite a while this morning just doing white center practice. Also, man, it's been so long since I've solved on like a stickered cube. I'm noticing already a bunch of stickers starting to peel. Wear and tear literally after like 4 days. So a stickless FTO will be really nice. Okay, so the community behind the FTO is even bigger than I realized. I've been chatting to Chris Choi, a really big FTO advocate, and found out there's a big movement to get the FTO into the WCA because it's not just a variation of an existing event, you know, like Mirror Blocks is really just a 3x3 mod. It's its own unique puzzle with a unique solving method. There are multiple ways to solve it. They're all currently being developed. It's relatively fast, you know, it's easy to administer. Man, I'm really hoping that that happens. I should make a whole separate video on that. Guys, I've now been chatting to Ben Streeter himself, the guy who developed the Ben Cisco method. And he's still working on like more FTO tutorials to help everyone out. Man, I'm falling deep down this rabbit hole. These guys are so amazing though. I'm gonna put links to all of Ben's tutorials in the description of this video. Evening of day 4 and it's back to the grind. My fingers are sore, my arms are sore. I can't remember the last time I've practiced so hard. I was getting decent times, but still no sub 2. But then, this happened. I'm grateful for the way the FTO humbled me and brought me back to basics, reminding me of what it felt like to start from zero. The freshness, the frustration, the exhilaration, all part of the journey of cubing. I'm grateful for the many people who have pioneered this puzzle and others like it, who develop methods where there are none, who make tutorials simply because they want to help others enjoy what they've discovered. I'm already so excited to be a part of this vibrant FTO community. But I'm also grateful for the cubing community on a whole, when it does what it does best, celebrating each other's wins, marveling at just how far we can push the limits of any puzzle, any challenge. It's not a me versus you, it's always us versus the cube. And I reckon our best cubing days are still ahead. I cannot wait until more people get into the FTO. I cannot wait until I receive the Tiansheng FTO and hopefully even more cube manufacturers see the value in making high quality versions of this puzzle and others like it. And if you buy the FTO from the Cubicle using the Tingman discount code, a little bit goes towards supporting my channel and keeping me making videos like this. So I have to say, I'm grateful for you too. I set myself the challenge of getting a sub 2-minute solve in 1 week. And here I am on day 4 with this. Let's go. Yes. Oh, yes. And for good measure, a couple more. The FTO, baby. What a puzzle. You know, this wasn't the video I intended to make, but maybe it was the video I was supposed to make. Thanks for watching.